The Indiana Hoosiers beat the Oregon Ducks in Eugene. And if you would have bet $100 on that game on the money line, you would have got yourself a total win of $330. That's $230 plus your original $100 bet. That was the gem this past week, but that doesn't obfuscate the fact that we're not doing so well. This was a disaster week so far. And of course, like many of you, maybe I'm here on a Monday hoping for a Monday night miracle. Thankfully, it's on the feet and hands of Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders, who is a very capable quarterback. We'll see what happens tonight when they host the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Again, so far I've only got the two unders right and one winner, the Brewers. That not so good this week, but that's okay. It happens, you know. You can't win them all. The Indiana pick on Saturday really helped. It was an unofficial pick, so I'm not going to keep track of it, or it's not going to go on our stats. Yes, this is a sports show. We keep stats. The money line is really my betting strength, I believe. The money line is the simplest bet you can make. It's let's say you bet the Rams. Do they win? Do they lose? If they win, you win. It's a very simple bet. Those are the ones that I like to try to spot. I have no idea about parlays or teasers or any of the more technical or exotic type wagers. But you know what? I'm here to learn. If you guys have any tips for me, leave it in the comments. I had one guy comment from England saying he wanted to tip on a wager. That's great. You know, hopefully you get some gems here on the Play Action Sports show. And you know what? It wouldn't hurt for you guys who know more about sports betting to give me tips too. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, you really wouldn't know from this past weekend that I usually pick winners. Speaking of winners, Drake May in New England doing a great job. He's one of the more fascinating stories this year because it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, everybody talks about Josh Allen in the AFC East, but don't sleep on Drake May and the Patriots. You know, he's doing a fantastic job over there. The NFL game in London, which was one of the ones that I picked the Jets to win. And you Jets fans out there probably know how I feel come Monday morning when they lost. It was a weird game, you know, low scoring affair. I don't know what the NFL strategy is in Europe. They had a game in London with the Jets losing to the Broncos. I think it was like 14-13 or something. I'll have to check the scores again. And what kind of a performance is that? First of all, the teams you picked, the Jets, really? No, I think they should have sent a team with maybe the name England in the name, like the Patriots. They might go over well in England. Then again, maybe not. You know, I don't know if the British are still sour about the whole Revolutionary War thing. You know, maybe there's a whole lot of fans of General Cornwallis still in London. I doubt it. But I think the NFL should do a better job when they send teams overseas of making sure that maybe they're winners, like the Lions, the Rams. You know, the NFL strategy in Europe should just change. You know, you don't send the Jets overseas. You send over teams like the Lions and the Rams with winning records. You send over teams that have England in the name, like the Patriots. It's, you know, I don't know. But it's a little strange this week, feels a little strange. It's almost a throwaway week 6 in the NFL. Very strange. Definitely a throwaway for me because you guys saw that I'm already got like 5 losers or something. 4 losers. We might recover tonight. At least one winner with the Commanders. What else? I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about. You guys have yourselves a great week. What else is going on? The Dodgers are playing against the Phillies the Phillies? I'm so sorry. The Brewers. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, the Brewers won and they are in the driver's seat because they have the home field advantage. Had the Cubs won, the Dodgers would have had home field advantage. But no, the Brewers have. This is going to be an epic series, a rematch of 2018, by the way. In the 2018 NL Championship Series there. Looking forward to Toronto Blue Jays and the, oh gosh, I think it's the Mariners. Yeah, the Mariners. You know, they hung in tough. I watched that game the other day. I think it was Crawford, or what was the name of the guy that got the last run? You know, he leans into home base, you know. The Mariners really deserve that. Their fan base deserves that, you know. If the Dodgers don't make it, I'm pulling for Seattle to win the World Series this year. So anyway, thank you guys again for your likes and subscribes. We've been doing pretty good lately on the views, the likes, the subscribes. Everything's going pretty well. I thank you guys tremendously. Of course, I know it's all contingent on whether or not you can find value on this channel. So again, this week goes in the loss column. You got to take an L sometimes, you know. But again, had you bet on my hunch with Indiana, you would have more than doubled your money. Betting $100 would have got you $230. It's not bad. Money line bet, you know. The Hoosiers, it was a pretty good game. I watched the game, and I mean, the end of it was just anticlimactic. I mean, the Oregon Ducks just sort of collapsed. It was interception, and then, I mean, they didn't do well at the end there. You know, and it was weird because the fans were just quiet. They were just... Indiana really went into Austin and shut down that noise level. You know, it was something you don't often see in that stadium. So congratulations to the Fernandez brothers, I believe. Mendoza brothers, right? I think it's the Mendoza brothers. Pair of quarterbacks for the Indiana Hoosiers. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to their coach. I like the Indiana Hoosiers coach, man. This guy's cool. You know, when he gave the interview at the end of the game, you know, the reporter said, "You guys have never defeated a top 5 team. The Indiana Hoosiers have never defeated a top 5 team coming into today's game. How do you feel about that?" And the coach kind of looks at him and is like, "Well, that's a hell of a stat." Basically, you know, it's like the reporter saying, "You guys suck. How do you explain today?" It's a great guy. I got to figure out that guy's name. Indiana, looking good. You guys take care of yourselves. Hopefully the Commanders win tonight and salvage whatever we can out of this week and at least make it a 30% week for us, you know. Again, gamble responsibly. You guys take care. We'll see you on Friday. Hit the like button and subscribe so you can get the notice about Friday's show. Sorry. Don't know what I'm doing here, but we're trying. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave me some tips, anything you guys want to talk about when it comes to sports, I'm here. Yeah. Or even coffee, you know. If you guys want to talk about some coffee. Time is going by so fast. We're already at the halfway point of the decade. You know, the 20s are halfway over. I imagine time on a treadmill. You know, it's like time. You know, you're on a treadmill. Can you please hit that down arrow? Beep, 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 beep.